Welcome to the Empowerment Show, a weekly podcast call-in show that's here to enrich and educate the community of beautiful Northeast Pennsylvania and its surrounding areas. Hosted by Kendall Stevenson. With co-host Shaquana Terry. Tonight's topic is financial literacy, so let's get started.
The opinions expressed on the radio program by the hosts, co-hosts, guests, and call-in listeners or chatters are solely the opinions and responsibility of the original source who expressed them. They do not necessarily represent the opinions of Genesis Radio, www.genesisradio.com, Genesis Radio's owners, management, or affiliates.
Good evening, and welcome to GenesisRadio.com. My name is Kendall Stevenson. I am the host of the Empowerment Show. My co-host, her name is Shaquana Terry. As usual, we like to give a moment of gratitude. So, for me right now, the people I like to thank is the staff at Genesis Radio.
Yeah.
We have a hell of a program that goes on here. We got DJs, if you like to hear some music. We got some wonderful talk shows. We got great hosts, young man by the name of Ronald Yates. Wow, Reasons for Reasons. In addition to that, if you want to get under the street light, you check in with my man Strategy. And of course, we got Mr. TP Square, and he's the one that kicks everything off. This evening, we have to apologize a little bit. We had some guests that were going to come in for you guys, and I think you would have really enjoyed them. It's the ladies behind the mic, and they will be coming back again. They had an unfortunate circumstances, so they won't be able to come in. So this evening, you get to talk to myself and my co-host. I really wanted to kick it off with something about financial literacy, because I think that's a topic that really needs to be talked about, and she's kind of an expert in it. So let me hand you over to her. Yeah, hey, you got an MBA. I don't have an MBA.
I wouldn't say expert.
The people that sit around and tell you about how you're going to conduct your future, what you should do financially, those people have MBAs. I don't have one.
I don't think you need an MBA to pay your bills. Just make sure that you are paying your bills. But when we're talking about financial literacy, I know there are times where we get to a point where we're unable to pay our bills. Maybe something happens, that many life events happen, but there are many things that we can actually utilize in order to make sure that those things, or to soften the blow, is what I would say, soften the blow, or even make sure that those things don't occur. They have many different life insurance policies, many different IRAs, things of that nature, lots of accounts and investment accounts that you can go into to make sure and to ensure your financial future. So we can talk a little bit about that if you like.
18 years old. I'm an 18-year-old kid. Just started. I got a new job, got shoes on my feet and a roof over my head, and I'm just starting to earn this bit of money. What should I do with the money that I'm earning?
Of course, these are my opinions. This is not, financial advice or anything like that. But as an 18-year-old, when I started working in banking, my grandmother was a VP of a bank, and she said, invest, save, and make sure you have life insurance. So that's something that I always tell young people, even my daughters who are 22 now and 16. They now have life insurance policies. They have investments and things of that nature, mainly because, the market goes up and down. But if you're starting out young, even with the market fluctuation, you can still save a pretty penny by actually keeping it into investments such as the market, or even life insurance. You can still save a pretty penny there. Of course, there are other avenues that you can get into. I believe in entrepreneurship. If you have a knack for something, you're good at it, and you have the drive to be able to run a successful business, I say I'm all for that as well. It just depends on who you are and what you want to do with your life.
Just to go along with the entrepreneurship, I agree. I think we live in a society where we have multiple people. We have people that are going to be entrepreneurs. Some people are not. But for those people that plan to do something, whatever it is, you got to remember there's a movement and then there's the moment. Now, if you want to be an entrepreneur, that would kind of be a movement. So you got to be willing to sacrifice. You got to be
Absolutely.
willing to make sacrifices. Everybody's not can't or is not going to be an entrepreneur. And for those that are not going to be an entrepreneur, there's other avenues that you can go down. Like you can go to learn a trade, or I don't know what the hell. You might even want to go to college.
Yeah, I mean, college is always something good. Education is always good. I know a lot of people now are trying to shy away from education, but I believe that education is key. And I've also tell my children that as well, because, and even if you don't do it with a traditional schooling, we learn every day. Pick up a book. If there's something that you want to learn and you need to get, or you want to get into a certain, on a certain career path, get a mentor.
Mhm.
Speak with someone that's on that path, that they're successful at it. Make sure they're successful at it, and then maybe study under them. There's so many ways that you can, of course, generate income and generate generational wealth.
Mhm. Well, when we talk about again with the education thing, I still believe you got to have will, drive, and determination
Absolutely.
and education. So even the guy that wants to be an entrepreneur, he's still going to have to learn his trade.
Absolutely.
So that's still a form of education. He may not exactly learn it in a school,
Yeah.
but it's still. I know a young man who, one of the most intelligent brothers I know, and he actually speaks and teaches at these colleges. They actually hire him to do speeches, and the man is fantastic. And he didn't go to college.
I don't believe that you, like I said, I don't believe that you need to go to college. There's some people that college school is just not for everyone. And there's some people who learn outside of that and can retain information. It just depends on who you are, right?
Mhm.
If you have if you have a knack to do something and you're passionate, like you said, will, drive, if you have all of those things, I think you can be successful in anything, because you're going to put the necessary time and work into doing what it is that you want to do. You only can get out of something what you put into it.
Hmm.
So if you're putting in half, half work, you're gonna get half. Your results are gonna be half.
Garbage in, garbage out.
Exactly.
Old computer term.
Garbage
Garbage
in,
in,
garbage
garbage
out. I
out.
like that.
So, yeah, again, with the education, please, I'm not trying to discourage anyone or tell anyone not to go to college. I'm the guy that would tell you in a heartbeat, take your little butt on down to the school, get an education.
Yeah.
Now, I know in today's society that it seems to be in the air, oh, college is not for everyone. Well, how would you know if you don't try? And you're talking to young people, 18, 19 years old, who just getting out of high school, then they're not too thrilled about wanting to go back to another school. So if you tell them, college is not for everybody, a lot of them will jump on that bandwagon and won't even try. But then later on in life, they come to find out, I'm on this job and I'm not making the money that I want to make.
Yeah.
I'm not an entrepreneur. I can't sing and I can't dance. So I need to do something a little bit more because now I'm 20 some odd years old and I might have a kid.
Very
So how do
true.
I plan for my future now? You deal with retirement, right?
That's what I do. I don't deal with the consumer side of it anymore. I'm more with the CEOs and CFOs and helping them implement their retirement plans. But it's important to, if someone were to come to me who's 18 or 20 years old, my first thing is, hey, listen, you're working now. Do they have a 401k plan?
Mm.
Because with a 401k plan, yeah, it's tied to the market, but you can save for retirement. But also, if that company is matching your gift or your contribution, you'd be crazy not to actually um, enroll in it, because that's money that you're leaving on the table. So
Mm.
if your company matches 6% on a dollar, then you know what? At least put in 6, because you're getting your money in there and as well as their money.
Mhm.
And that's a way to build your portfolio as well. And then once you get up to a certain point, you can build on it from there. But definitely 401k if they are,
Mm.
starting out.
Well, how early would you say a person should start if they're looking to invest? I got to tell you, myself, I was thinking about retirement when I was 20 something,
Mhm.
and I kind of been planning for it, and I got the hell out of there and kept on moving, and I did okay. I think I got a good retirement plan. My plan was a little different from what most people are, but it worked for me, and it's
Yeah.
working for me. So,
And you
what age?
probably had a pension and things of that
I
nature.
had the ability to get a pension. A pension is a two-way street. So it's like this: you get a pension, you can get a check for the rest of your life per se,
Mhm.
because it's a percentage of the pool.
Sure.
So you get that. Or with my company, they gave us an option to take all of our money,
Mm.
take it all out. And I mean, my theory was this: they're going to take that money every month and they're going to invest it, even though they're giving you your little slice of the pie, but the entire pool that gets invested. So they're making money on my money.
Hmm.
So if they're going to make money on my money, why can't I?
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the things that I think is beneficial is home ownership.
Mhm.
That is something I think it's a gift that keeps on giving.
Mhm.
In certain cases because you can continue to borrow from your equity when it builds up. So, say for instance, if you're 20 years old, I mean, with no help from your family, if you're 20 years old and you're starting to work, you can borrow from your 401k to put down for the payment of the home, right? For the down payment, you can borrow from your 401k, put that down, and then buy your home and let it build its equity, and then from that equity you can do a lot of things with that. You can of course buy another property if you want to,
Mhm.
so there are many avenues you can go with that. Just make sure that you're not building up a lot of debts
Just
because
want
that
to
can
just
help.
want to just to clarify a little bit. So with the 401, yes, you can take money out if you want to buy a home, but that's under the umbrella of a hardship.
Well, not all of it because there's a loan for general purposes,
Hmm.
either for general purpose or first time home buyers.
Okay.
So you can either, so it depends upon what your 401k offers, but most times it's federal. It's regulated where you can either get a general purpose loan or a homeowner's loan from your 401k. If you were to take a withdrawal, that's a hardship and that
Yeah.
is
Okay.
taxed.
Right.
That
Yeah.
is
There you
taxed,
go.
and there's also a early withdrawal penalty
That's
of
correct.
10% if you're under the ages of 59 and a half. I don't recommend that, but if you go that route, just make sure that you pay the taxes up front so that you don't have to deal with that at the end of the year. But for purposes of getting a home, like I said, the borrowing, not withdrawing, because borrowing you're paying it back after through your payroll deductions.
Right.
But if you're withdrawing it, and it's considered income, and that's you have to consider that as well, and that's for anyone 20 to 65, right?
Mhm.
If your income is $100,000 a year, and then you take out 50 or 60,000 from your 401k, now that's added on to
Mhm.
your income for the end of the year. So that's going to put you, not you, it will put you in a higher tax bracket. So we're talking about more tax liability, but that's something that you need to ask your tax advisor. That's not me.
And also, if you decide to withdraw money from the 401k, I wouldn't actually suggest it because it is a retirement plan. So
Correct.
it's for the long haul. But life hits you. You may need it. Just remember that when you do withdraw money from it, it is considered income, earned income.
Correct.
So whatever your taxes are, and when you withdraw the money, you can actually tell the people how much taxes you want. They have a minimum. I think it's like 20%. But depends if you know that your taxes are 33%, and you tell them take 33%. The deal is you won't have to pay back if you do it properly, and if you overpay, you get it back at the end of the year in your taxes.
Correct.
So you
Correct.
don't
Correct.
lose any money. But you
Yeah.
don't you don't want to borrow money. You don't want to withdraw money from that. You want to hold on as long as you can. The stock market goes up and down. Just tell you, people have taken the 401 in those different packages, and they did pretty well leaving out of the companies. They did
Yeah.
pretty well.
Yeah.
But there are more other investments that the people can get involved with the 401. I know 401 is like the most popular, but there are other investments,
Absolutely.
annuities,
Annuities. Yes.
and these things they don't actually have to get from the organization that they work for. You can actually go to a financial advisor
Correct. Annuities, individual retirement accounts. There are CDs that are individual retirement, that call certificates of deposits. They're also available to you, so you can continue to plan for retirement. But it just depends on who you are and what you want to happen within your life. If you want a short-term option or if you want a long-term option, it just depends. So there are many different options out there. I would suggest speaking to a financial advisor. I am not one, neither is Kendall.
No, I'm not a financial advisor, but you know what I'm not? I tell you what I'm not. I'm smart enough to go to a financial advisor.
Yes, exactly.
So that's what I'm not.
Yes.
But before I did any steps or anything that I wanted to do, I sat down with a financial advisor.
Yeah.
And we planned out X amount of years, I want this amount of money when I walk out the door. How do I get there?
And that's important. You have to know what you want to do. It's hard for someone to help you plan when you don't know what you want to do. You have to actually have an idea at least of what you want to do, the avenue you want to take, and what your end goal is. So that's important. And if you can have that, and you speak with a financial advisor or someone that you trust who is in finance, and go from there.
Unfortunately, a lot of the young people, they're not looking about retirement. That's like for old people, they don't think that they're ever going to get that age, or they're not looking down the road there. So all they're looking for is, how much money can I make?
I mean,
now,
it's
not then, but now.
Money is. I'm telling you, it's something you need for every single thing. Money and credit.
Oh, they messed up your credit though. That's another thing.
Credit. Because cash is not, I know back then, 20 years ago, you can go and buy a home with cash with no issues. They won't ask any questions. Now it's like, where'd you get it from? And so credit is important, because at least if you have credit and cash, you're going to be successful in getting anything that you need financially.
Like wanting to buy a car, maybe when I graduate from high school, and I might want to get me a car because my parents didn't get me one. So I need some cash so I can make some cash.
Yeah.
And now we get into the cycle. I got to have some cash so I can make me some cash.
One thing that I recommend for parents to do, if they can, which is something that I've done for my children, is if you have a credit card that, you've had for a long time. My daughter, when she was in college, I added her onto my credit card. No, she could not use it. Right? She could not use it, but it was just for her to gain a credit history, because she's now, it's an aged card. It's something that I've been paying on forever, and it didn't have a balance. So it just keeps going. And she came out of school with like a 740. And now she was able to get her own credit card. And now she has her credit card, and she's handling that. Handling that wisely. But you need that help.
When I was younger and back in high school, I just remember we used to have a class, economics. Remember that class? And the economics, we learned how to use credit cards. We learned how to sign and fill out a check.
Yes.
And they kind of taken that away.
Yeah.
So a lot of the young people, they're coming out of high school, they're going to college, and what's the first thing they tell them? It's a credit card. I swear, you sign up for college, and all of a sudden you get a flood of applications for credit cards, and you can approve. It's approval for credit cards. And these kids are getting the credit card, they're putting it in their hand, and they're just going crazy. So they're building, not only they're building the debt with the school, with the tuition, now they're building up even more debt with credit cards, because no one taught them about a credit card.
Listen, if you have to call home and ask for your social security number to fill that out, you most certainly shouldn't be getting a credit card. Okay. But yeah, you're right. They're flooded. As soon as you actually get on campus, there is a bank representative telling you to open up an account, and then they say, hey, listen, you get your student card. And most certainly, I think 9 times out of 10, you will get approved for a student credit card. And like you said, if they don't have the knowledge, and sometimes it's just not their fault. A lot of the parents don't have the knowledge either. They're not fiscally responsible at all. So they
won't. 18.
Yeah, so the parents sometimes don't know what to say or what to tell the kids when it comes to credit. But it's up to that child to say, you know what, hey, listen, what is this, mom, dad, or even speak to someone at the bank to find out the terms and stuff behind that, because credit is good, but it can also be bad.
One thing I like to say about in today's time with the technology that we have, not knowing is not any excuse for not getting,
I agree.
because all you gotta do is whip out your cell phone. And you don't even have to type it in. You get that little microphone thing on it. And any
Yeah.
question that you want to ask, you can get the answer. People use their cell phone a lot right now just for entertainment,
Yeah.
especially a lot of the younger people. If they actually could use it for the capabilities, it's a computer and you can use it. I just wanted to ask you another question about the home, so just kind of reeling it back a little bit. So we were talking about the equity and what you can get. How about you retire and you own your home outright,
Mm-hmm.
don't have a mortgage,
Okay.
versus a person who does retire and does have a mortgage?
What is your question?
Which is the best situation to be in?
Listen, not having a mortgage is always the best situation to be in. But if that's not you and you're still paying on your home, you'll do what you have to do to get to pay it off. Even I feel like it just depends on your track, because there are people who are 75 who are who just own the home for only 10 years. They bought it after they retired. So, I don't know if I would recommend that, but because now you're paying on the song. Depending upon the mortgage, most certainly have a 30-year mortgage, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because a 15-year mortgage, depending upon the price of the home, is probably going to be way too expensive.
Mm.
But believe it or not, if you're that old, believe it or not, if you're over 55,
Mm-hmm.
they're not giving you a 30-year mortgage.
They're not.
You're gonna get a 20-year mortgage if you're lucky.
Mm-hmm.
But unless you have somebody on the mortgage that's younger.
That was going to be my thing, because I know someone. I had a couple of clients who actually put their daughters or put their kids on their mortgages, and I'm like, oh, the kid doesn't know that they're going to be responsible for this, in a couple of, in maybe 10, 20 years. And it's like, and it's going to be hard for them to get something if their debt to income is too high, but
you just said something. No, you
you
just said something. I just want to tell the young people out here, I know when I was growing up, the mothers or the fathers or whatever, they had a tendency of using the child's identification to get credit.
Oh.
They would use their social security numbers and so forth and put under their name. Now that's bad, because when the child grows up, I tell you, because he already has a debt.
Oh, they feel like cable and things of that
Yeah,
nature.
they would put it in the kid's name, right? And then the kids end up owning all that money.
Yeah.
That don't hurt you anymore.
Oh no?
That
Because what they do is they look at your age and the debt.
Yeah.
They know it ain't you. That's ID fraud.
Yeah.
They know it ain't you. They don't hold it against you.
And there's even something now with medical bills under certain, because there are people that can go in and use other people's names and stuff like that for hospital bills and things of that nature. And I think that's where the law now that comes in when it comes to medical bill reporting. I think you can only do a certain amount or something like that.
And now, in fact, also they changed the law. Medical bills can't affect you anymore with your credit. It might drop down a little bit initially, but that's it.
You mean they can't put
That's
a lien on your home?
about.
They can't put a lien or anything on your home? Garnish your
and I
pay
think it's
or-
only a certain amount or something like that.
They can put a lien on your home. Let's say elderly people
Uh-huh.
go into a nursing home and they pass away because they don't have enough insurance or Social Security to cover the cost. They will put a lien on your home.
Mm-hmm.
They could do that. You know what I mean? But you're young. I'm young or whatever.
Oh yeah, you got that. You're funny.
They're not putting the lien on my house.
No.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that debt's gonna go on my credit, and it's just gonna sit there. You know what I mean? Until I can pay it, or it's gonna drop off.
You've
Because
GenesisRadio.com.
they write that stuff off anyway.
Right.
They get written off anyway.
And we're not telling you to go to the hospital and rack up a bill and not pay it. But we're just giving you just some quick tips about what's going on out there in the legal world, right?
This is GenesisRadio.com. My name is Kendall Stevenson, Shaquana Terry,
Hello.
and Mr. TP Square.
Yeah.
That's the young man who voice you just got finished hearing. If you'd like to give us a call, the telephone number is 888-304-4401. That's 888-304-4401. Stay tuned. We always like to hear from you. We do have a guest in the studio. His name is Sincere. and he's my great grand. He's one of those young men we talk about that's 18 years old. You know, they on their phone all the time. You know, he has you on camera. Oh, he most certainly does. He's gonna put you on camera. Sincere, say hello.
Yes,
please.
say
There's a
hello
mic.
to the mic. Yes.
So you're one of those young men that we were talking about that's 18 years old, who's you're out of school now, you're getting out of high school, and what do you see your future? Which way do you see you going? Financially, education, you want to be an entrepreneur, or you want to go into what do you want to do? Can't hear you.
Hold on. Let me get
I believe he said he wants to go into business.
Go ahead.
It's a very broad topic, very broad.
If I
career.
I might be an electrician work really, because that's what I'm interested in. I might do that. I'm learning a trade.
I tell you, it's always cool to say I don't know. It's usually when you don't know, that means you're trying to find
I
out.
didn't know for the last
There
6
we
years, but I figured it out when I turned 18
So you want to be an electrician?
Yeah.
Why?
because helping people is like something I like to do.
You know,
always
do
need
you-
electricians.
Do you know any electricians?
A couple.
You know a couple, so you've seen them work?
Yeah.
Okay. And as far as your future is concerned, what do you financially, how do you want to live when you get older? What do you want to do? You want to own your own car? You want to have your own home?
Definitely.
Definitely, right? So what steps are you going to take to get there?
I'm gonna ask a couple older people I know. Like,
Hold on, let me get out the way. You want to ask old people?
He said older.
Hey,
You're a little more
Older.
seasoned.
no, he said old people.
No,
I'm getting out your way.
he said older. He said older.
I don't want to get caught in the
I
wind
think,
here.
you said you want to be an electrician, and you do know a couple of electricians. So, if you don't have a plan to go to school just yet for it, you may want to reach out to those people who you know, and maybe you can shadow them on jobs, and get into some of go out on like I said, shadow them on jobs, and just kind of see what it entails, because that may help you make a decision as to whether or not you even want to be in that particular field.
Yeah, she's trying to give you some decent advice, man. If you want to be a doctor,
let me just tell you what happened to me.
Doctor.
All right, I from 5 years old up, I said I wanted to be a nurse. Okay, and then I went into the High School for Health Professions and Human Services, which was on First Avenue in New York City. Okay, and I took all my classes to do that, and then I went on an internship at St. Vincent's Hospital. Right, I get there. They're like, you need to clean this lady's butt. You need to do this, you do that. I was like, I couldn't even stomach it. I was gagging the entire time. And I said, you know what? Maybe this isn't for me. Actually, it really wasn't. And then I ended up going into finance. And I am going to for school for accounting and things of that nature. But I was like, that is not going to work for me. And this is the way that it works. I'm going to say 20, 30 years later, right? Yeah, so 25, 28 years later, my husband falls sick and I have to be his primary caretaker. Mm-hmm. And then I have to do the same thing that I said I wasn't going to do. I was like, dang, I should have became a nurse. But I say that to say, make sure that, do the work first. Try to see if there's something that you're interested in, go out, find out who you can shadow, who you can, work with, especially since you're out of school now, right? Summer is coming. Try to find someone that you can shadow and go on these jobs with, so that could let you know whether or not you want to have a career in that, because don't waste any time. Time can't be wasted nowadays.
Let me put it in the air, right? So this young man, and anybody who's listening or watching, this young man wants to be a journeyman. He wants to learn how to be an electrician. He wants to do these things. He has a passion for it. I'm tired of leaving my shears around, so he's trying to splice my wires up. Okay, so someone needs to teach this young man how to be an electrician. So if anyone has a school available or any information that they can give this young man, please give us a call. That would be 888-304-4401. Yes. You can call us at any time, or you can send us a text or a chat. We'd really like to have some information for this young man so we can help him out and give him some direction. We're always talking about the the age group difference and how we don't communicate with the young ones because we're too busy, or we don't want to hear what they have to say, or we don't like what they have to say. And then the young ones are too busy telling us, stop telling me what to do. I'm grown. Okay? So we need to kind of bring this back together again as like what we used to do, where the elders actually gave out some advice and the young people actually sat and listened to it, where we actually had respect for one another. The elders have respect for the youth, and the youth have respect for the elders. Maybe we can start to learn something and get something on track and get something going as far as a people. And I'm talking about people that look like you, that look like me. Okay. No, honestly, I know in other circles, in other societies, they kind of got their thing together. They got their social circles together, and they're getting it together more and more. They are more integrated than we are. We are more segregated amongst ourselves and not so much willing to help. I'm saying this young man needs some help. Send us some information. Let's get him some help. Let's help our people out. And I like to give a shout out to the Deltas. I think that they're an outstanding group, that their organization does a hell of a lot for the community. As far as grants are concerned, scholarship are concerned, they get involved in most activities that are going on within the community, cancer and so forth. So I wanted to give them a shout out, and organizations like them. Well, we just had, who did we just have on last week? Family Promises.
Family Promise.
Family Promise?
Mhm.
Family Promise. I also want people to know that they also, too, they have one hell of an organization. These people are willing to help you pay your rent if you're down and out, and to help get you back up on your feet, along with Crossroads, along with housing. And in the future, I believe the beginning of June, we're going to have Miss Perryman, and she's from Crossroads. They also help out the homeless. So that was my little bit for the day. And if anybody want to give us a call or shout out, maybe they can give this young man, a little information, a little bit of help or direction. We could sure use it out here.
Absolutely. And I know there's a portion of the show where we just kind of give someone in the community a shout out. And I personally want to give someone a shout out. And do you have anyone that you want to give a shout out to? No? Oh, you know, that was it? Okay, all right. All right. So there is a young lady by the name of Samantha Lynch. She's on on Instagram as Giselle Artistry. She is a makeup artist here in the Poconos, in the Mount Pocono area. And she has been so busy. Proms are here here in the Pocono, so they're this Saturday, and she has been busy with different, of course, teenagers reaching out to her. And my daughter is actually going to a prom on Saturday, and she just decided last minute that she wanted to get her makeup done today, actually. And I reached out to this young lady, and she said I can squeeze her in. And I just let her know that, how much, my daughter wanted to go into getting her makeup done. So she squeezed her in. She gave me an appointment, and I just want to give her a shout out. Thank you so much, Samantha of Giselle Artistry. You can catch her on Instagram at Giselle Artistry. She's done really good work, and I'll let you guys know on Wednesday when we're back here how my daughter's makeup came out. Mm-hmm. So thank you so much, Giselle Artistry.
Yeah, if I was going to give a shout out to someone, you just made me think about it. My daughter-in-law, she's very much into makeup and doing artistry. She's not in the business yet, but she will soon be, and she's pretty damn good at what she does. But I'm going to tell you, I was drinking some teas. I got a tea for that.
A tea for what?
A tea for that.
Okay.
So
right.
I got a friend, her name is Kim, and she makes some hella delicious teas. Iced tea, warm tea, healthful tea, energetic tea. She got it. Believe me, she got a tea for that.
She's weight loss tea, because child, I'm trying to get right for summer.
I think she got something.
What you laughing at?
I think she got something going on with that.
Like put her name out there, okay?
Her name is Kim.
Her name was where do we go?
Her name. I think you got to go to Teas by Kim.
Teasbykim.com.
I think it's a .com.
Okay, all right.
So Teas by Kim.
Okay, listen, I'm not mad at it.
She's got it going on. She makes her own tea. She does the tea bag thing. She makes the herbal tea. She from what do they call soup to nuts. She handles it. She's pretty good. I like the teas because I got a thing about Now I got this from my man Dallin
Mm-hmm.
downtown on Main Street. He's got the Nature's Technology.
Okay.
Now he does a herbal thing. He's really into helping out the human body. So I got this little thing that he mixed for me, which was green tea, and it's called the gunpowder green tea. It's not just green tea,
Mm-hmm.
and he mixes it with a hibiscus tea. So the hibiscus is for high blood pressure. It reduces the high blood pressure, and the gunpowder green tea is kind of for everything else. It kind of helps out the prostate too. So it's good green tea. I mean, you guys can look it up. You'll see all the things they have going on with green tea.
Yeah, I mean, I drink green tea in the morning. I don't have any health concerns, thank God. But in the point for me is to try to combat that, just in case, to try to avoid it, prevent it from happening. So it's me now, just going into a different route when it comes to eating, right? And that's something that anybody can do, because now you don't wait till you get sick to try to combat it. You do it to prevent it. You want to be proactive and not reactive, right?
And just remember, for those, it's different from everybody, every person, about what they should eat, what they shouldn't eat. My suggestion would be at least speak to a nutritionist before you put stuff in your body. You may, because look, apples are not that great. It's not the greatest things for me. I have acid reflux, so any type of fruits that have any acid in it or a lot amount of sugar, it's not that great for me. But what they tell you, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Okay, for me, it sends me to the hospital.
Great point. That's a good point. Yeah.
So, yeah.
It just depends on you. I'm allergic to everything. So it definitely, I can't really, have too many, even topical things, I try to make sure that my doctor knows what I'm getting into and then go from there. But yeah.
And again, make sure you visit your doctor annually. If you have any questions, go to the experts. I'm not an expert. She's not an expert. We're not experts here. So what we're giving you kind of is our opinion based on our experiences.
Yes. Yeah.
But along with that, with some education, the best thing to do is to go see a doctor, go see a nutritionist, go speak to people who can actually help you out, people in the know.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, you mean Dr. Google?
That.
Hey.
I mean, WebMD, right?
My wife,
WebMD.
she's got a cup, right? I swear, she bought me a cup, right? It says, I don't need to ask Google, I just ask my husband.
I love it.
Right?
See, WebMD is okay. But Dr. Google,
Whoa. But
be careful with Dr. Google.
WebMD is crazy too, because I'll put some stuff in there and I'm like, they scare me. I'm like, okay, they said you go listen, this is going to happen in 3 years, and then you're gonna have this. It could be this. It could be that. I'm like, wait a minute.
Sometimes they sell advertisements for medications.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
do.
So you got to be careful.
The best thing to do is
Google.
actually just walk into a doctor's office, stick out your tongue, say and let the man give you the man or the woman give you a proper investigation of your body, so you know what's going on.
Yeah, you know what, and what's really important for you to do is to tell the doctor exactly what's going on, because holding back information doesn't help you. They can only diagnose what you tell them or what they even see in most cases. But if you're not telling them your symptoms or anything like that, they don't know what to check for. So make sure that you're being upfront and honest with your doctor. If you can't be upfront and honest with your doctor, who are you going to be upfront and honest with?
Just to, I guess we're really back into finances about what we shouldn't do. I can't tell you what to do. I can't tell you what not to do. I can tell you some of the things that I have done, and I would just tell you, please use a little logic. As I always tell my great-grand, we have variables. So what you want to do is you look at your life, look at where you want to go, look at how you're going to get there, and then you got to use these different variables. You got to think, well, if I do this, that will happen. If I do this, that will happen. Because everything that you do or not do, there's going to be consequences, good or bad.
Correct.
So you want to try to have somewhat of a safety net and safeguard yourself.
Yeah.
And be careful of being on the internet, especially when you're dealing with funds and money. Okay? Because they've been hitting you up. What are you smiling at? They've been hitting you up, man. With that money, with the cash apps and the.
Let me tell you, and that's just small change there. But small, somebody who doesn't have the money is big too. But there was something, now with AI happening, right? AI is a big thing, and even my company is investing heavily in AI. There was a company who were duped out of $25 million. And I don't remember the company, but I'll tell you just a high level of what happened. They had a AI person. It was like video call, and the person even had all the members of the board in the room, but they actually weren't the members of the board. They were AI, of course. AI generated people on the screen. So the CEO of the one company says, you know what? I know these people. I know their voices. This is good. I'm good with that. And he wires them $25 million.
Really?
Yes. And it ended up being a scam.
Mm.
So he was out the $25 million. And so they call that the deep fake, you know. So it's important for, you know, you and some people, you know, even while we're here on this radio, right? Somebody can take our picture, they can copy our mannerisms and be on a conference call with somebody acting like they're you.
Mm.
It's scary, even though it's technology forward, it's advanced, but it's still scary.
Yeah, biometrics scanning. You know, you got to open the phone. They do the biometrics, the face,
scan your face or your fingerprint.
I don't trust any of those things, man. I'm just sorry. A young man, we really hope that things go well for you in the future.
And they will.
And that you make decisions. You always check those variables. You think about what you want to do before you do it. And if you're not exactly sure, it's okay to go to someone and ask. You can go to multiple people to get multiple opinions or facts. If you want a fact, go to a professional. And even then, sometimes you're not getting the fact, you may get their opinion, but it's called an educated opinion, like an educated guess.
And do your own research.
Mm-hmm.
Pick up a book.
Pick up your cell phone.
Pick up your book. If you don't want to do that, you know, there's Kindle, there's everything. There's on business, on electrician.
There's me?
Kindle, the Kindle.
Oh, they got Kindles?
It's a tablet.
It's a tablet.
Oh, I'm a tablet now. Hey, boy, Terry, I'm moving up in the world. Huh?
Yeah, they got a Kindle, all right.
They got a tablet named after me. How about that? I know it's a Kindle. I got you.
It's a Kindle. They have so many books on there that you can utilize, and a lot of free information. And the library is still open. Utilize it.
They use that?
Yes.
Oh, I thought they just hold events there. I didn't think that's what people went there to read.
People read. I still have my library card.
Anime.
Yeah.
You go for anime.
Anime. Oh gosh, that's what they're into now too. My
Anime.
daughters are into anime.
Cartoons.
Yeah, it's like Japanese. Is it Japanese?
Yes,
Did you
It's
invest in
Japanese,
it?
yeah.
No, I thought about it.
I think you should.
I think you should. You know, the funny thing is that these kids, when they were younger, they were sitting around playing these video games. I mean, they were really into it.
Mm-hmm.
So I asked the kids one day, I said, why don't you just learn how to make your own?
Very true. You know what? If you're not skilled in that area, you can always use Acorns, and I'm a big advocate for Acorns, especially for kids, for young adults, right? You can always use Acorns, and it's like an investment app, right? So you can put your money in there. If you know what ticker symbol you want to actually invest in, you don't have to have, because sometimes a stock for Amazon is probably like $1,300 a share. But if you're going to go with something like Microsoft, or even, I don't know who would the software for the software for the people who make the anime cartoons, you may want to invest in that. So we'll go with that. If that is like $300 a share, right? And then, if that is like
Java.
yeah.
If you can write in Java, you can do it yourself.
That's very
true.
true.
You can take Java and get a computer, Microsoft. You can download it for free. You can download your little board to play in that you want to work in, and it's called MBlock. It's called block programming. And with the block programming and with the corporation of Microsoft, you can make your own videos right there. You don't need anything extra. You can make them right there and have them generate and do whatever you want them to do.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't need it don't cost you nothing. JavaScript is like it's easy. You can learn JavaScript on YouTube.
You can learn it, if you have the will and the drive to do so, okay? Because we can't leave that out. But if you are trying to make money in the stock market and trying to get into things that is going to make money because your friends are doing it, you can go on Acorns, put money in every week or every 2 weeks until you get enough for that share, and then you go ahead and buy that share.
What I would probably tell you, KJ.
What's the best thing to invest in?
That's a loaded question there, boss.
It's loaded.
Because that's one you're gonna have to think about.
Yes, and I think that if you're trying to go into stocks, there were penny stocks that were very very cheap 10 years ago, and people invested in them, kept them, and now they're a huge conglomerate. They're making a lot of money. So it just depends. I would do your research.
And then you flip the coin. That's the other side of the coin.
Yeah.
You have people who invested money and lost all
Absolutely,
of it.
but you're young. You got it.
It's called an investment. It's not a guarantee. And anytime you make an investment, you can win, you can lose. That's the way it is. So what you have to do is you make sure you get enough research. And here it is. If you don't know, you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
That means you go to the people who do. Now, a lot of these financial, like Fidelity and the different ones, they actually have managers there that they'll set you up with a portfolio, go over it with you and say, do you like this? And they actually manage your fund. They manage your account for you. And of course, they want to manage it because as long as you make money, they make money.
Yeah.
You got it? Yeah. They don't make no money if you don't make any money. So if they got your account, they'll set you up and you can go through it. Like I said, you tell them what you want. I want to be here by this particular point in time in my life. And they'll sit down and they'll go over it, a package, and say, okay, well, if you do this, that, and the other, your chances are very good of being where you want it to be. Just remember, when you invest or you do that, you're rolling the dice, man. It's all
very true. Very true. I've invested in some of the big ones like Tesla and Amazon, and they're going up and down. But I have time. I feel like what goes up must come down, and vice versa. So it's going to fluctuate because it depends on who's in the White House. It depends on so many different different factors.
So many different.
So we
variables.
want to make sure that you can afford to do so. When you do. So.
And like I said, you gotta look at all of the variables.
Yes, absolutely.
Is there a war going on overseas? Is there oil prices? All of these are variables that should make the determination as to where you want to put your money.
Yeah.
But if you don't know, financial advisor is good.
Yeah, and you know what? If even if you don't have the money right now, it's important for you to go sit down with a financial advisor so you'll know what you need to do to get to where you need to go. It's important to do that. I don't care if you have $50. Go sit down with the financial advisor and say, listen, this is where I want to be in 10 to 15 years. What do you suggest? And at least you have some sort of blueprint. It can always change. You can always, switch out the roads that you take, but at least you'll have a foundation and then you can move on from there.
Okay, so I'm gonna do you one. You ready? You listening?
No.
No, come on. Look. Here's something up your alley. No romance without finance. Because this is a young lady who can tell you about romance. She can tell you about, I don't know, all those above things when it comes to romance.
I haven't been.
About what man is he's a good man. What's a good man? What do you consider a good man?
What do I consider a good man?
See what I'm telling you? She can do this so easy. Watch her.
What do a good man? I don't think it has anything to do with finances.
What?
I listen.
I'm gonna salute you for that.
Listen, I don't think it has anything to do with finance because I know I have met men who are very wealthy who are horrible, have horrible character, no integrity. Okay, and I look at that character and integrity, and we can build together because I'm smart, you're smart, we can do this together. But I feel like you should have something. Come to the table with something, and if you don't, at least have that will and drive to do so. I'm not judging anyone.
You know this is a segue, right, Terry?
I'm not judging anyone.
Right on. So we're coming to about the end of the show. My name is Kendall Stevenson.
You got 15 minutes.
Hold on. Yeah, let me try it. What makes a good woman? What makes a good man in your eyes?
What makes a good woman?
Yeah.
My wife.
Oh, I love it. And what makes her what makes her good?
She's willing to be with me.
Let me tell y'all, he's an acquired taste for sure. You got to get to know him to love him.
Let's put it like this. My wife is very intelligent.
Terry, you look that up.
My wife is very intelligent. She commands a room. When she walks in a room, she commands the room. People, when they first meet her, someone may meet you and say, "Hey, Shaquana," right? When they meet her, they go, "Hi, Miss Millie." You get what I mean? Okay, so she commands respect just by being who she is, and I really like that about her. I don't think most women can do that. You know, sometimes they get on your nerves, but because she can be a little bossy, to be nice, and sometimes a little controlling at times. But I'm not the type of person you can push around, so we kind of equal out.
Controlling, or is it that she just knows what she wants and knows what
No,
how she wants it to be done?
no, she will instruct you on how to do X, Y, and Z. And okay, what do I say?
He's like, yes.
My wife,
that's right.
she'll say something like, "I like that couch over there. I think it looks really great over there. I think we'll move it over there." And then she'll turn to you and point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How else are we going to get it done?
How we?
Yeah, we.
No, it ain't a
we.
we.
That's how that works.
There's no more we.
That's how that works. You, me, you. That's how that works.
I've been with this woman over 30 years. I got nothing. If I got something bad to say or something negative to say, that's a reflection on me. Right on? So again, when I look at my wife, I see a reflection of myself. You understand?
I love that.
And I have to give her the utmost respect that I give myself.
Yeah.
All right. My wife when she wanted something, she got it.
You know, as a young woman now, of course, now I'm a widow, right? So I don't even like to use that term. I'm actually single in accordance to the government. I'm single. So with that being said, I'm looking for people who can handle me with care because I want to handle you with care. If you understand how you should talk to not just a man or woman, but a human being, you have to talk to someone with respect. You have to give respect, and you're going to get respect. And I'm looking for you to handle me the way that I handle myself. So if I'm handling myself with care, I'm going to expect for you to do the same. And if not, you're going to exit stage left.
All I can tell you like this: if you fellas are coming, man, cross every T and dot every I. That's what I can tell you.
We talked about
correct or don't come at all.
We talked
Stay your
about
ass
that.
home.
I
what I
agree.
can tell you.
I agree with that. Like,
Okay?
you know, I'm here. I'm not trying to, go dig on anybody. I have my own. I don't. What you're bringing to the table is complimentary. You should not have to complete me. I complete me. You complete you. We complement each other. That's how that goes. So
I tell you. In my house, don't get funny. I've heard people come up, and I really hate when they say it. She's the boss, and they say that all the time. You got to be careful because I'm the boss. Yeah, and I'm going to tell. Hey, everybody can hear, and my wife knows I don't have no bosses.
Yeah,
I don't agree with my wife is my companion.
Yes, thank you.
Right on. She's my companion, and we go through this journey together in life. Right now, that's what we're doing. We're going through this journey. And we're doing it together. Good, bad, right, wrong, or different, but we're equals.
Because it doesn't flow if we both aren't in agreement. And my husband used to say that too. It's like, oh, talk to her because she's the boss. I'm like, no. At the end of the day, I'm going to speak to you about it, get your opinion. So we're both in this together. And so I don't like that term. He or she is the boss because we're doing this together, and we don't make decisions without each other. So
well, it's like this. A tight,
yeah,
in the same room together.
I'm so sorry for you.
No, it works out. It works out well. It does.
You think so?
I'm gonna tell you.
It works out for you. That dynamic may not work for everyone.
You could call it a training, if you want to say, because it gave an opportunity for both of us to learn how to deal with people that are like us. Because here now we're living together, and we've been living together a while, but even in the beginning, I used to tell her whatever affects you is not going to affect me. So if you mess up all the money, all of us going to be in the poorhouse, not just you. So be careful about what you do.
Yes.
And then while you're doing this, respect me.
Yes, and I
respect you.
I agree because the choices that you make, and it's important in a partnership. The choices that you make, you have to think about them and how they're going to affect not only you but the people around you, because it's not just going to affect you and I together. We have kids, we have grandkids, great grandkids, and some of them are they're dependent upon you all as well to provide in certain areas. So it's like, listen, make sure that the decisions that you're making, you think about them. They're thought out, and understanding the consequences, if any.
And I can tell you a little bit about my wife. I don't think she really respects a lot of people. I mean, she has respect for people, but I don't think she has that. Like, okay, with me, she learned how to respect me because I say I'm head of the household, but I lead by example.
Mm-hmm.
I don't lead by whips and chains or you do as I say. I don't do that. I lead by trying to understand. You got an issue, let's sit down and talk about it. I don't always do it. Sometimes I'm a little, rough around the edges, but when it comes down to it, I'll sit down and try to listen and compromise.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
And compromise is important in all relationships.
Well, I'm not just the only one rough around the edges. She got a beautiful smile and it looks nice when she does, but she can be hell on wheels. I'm just tell you that now.
Listen, I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
You see him laughing, right? Yeah. Uh-huh.
I don't believe
and look
it.
Here, check on him tomorrow because he's gonna have a bandage on his head.
Probably end up in the hospital.
Yeah, he's gonna have a bandage
Messing
tomorrow.
around with two people.
Oh my goodness, that's
Okay.
so funny.
I got a question. It's about romance since we're on the topic.
Ooh. Let me get up to
It's about a woman.
No, man.
Oh,
It's
man.
about like,
romance.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Say I want to get to know a young lady. Like, what's the best place to do that? Like, where would we go that would be like great to get to know each other?
I think that if you're really trying to get to know someone, you're serious about them, going someplace where there are little to no distractions. Even if you want to go to a park, you sit down and talk, or where you picnic lunch or something like that, go to a restaurant. Even going to a restaurant is sometimes it can be there's some distractions there. But a quiet place, not your home. Okay, because we don't want to send the wrong message. But somewhere where there's little to no distractions, where you can be zoomed in on her and she can be zoomed in on you, and you have that focus.
And one suggestion, ask her.
That's okay. Girls in my generation.
No.
A lot of times
I'm
they'll say I don't know.
They do. I agree with that.
Thank you for watching. Please like this video and subscribe to our channel.
Like, if you want to take her out, because I have something in mind, I'd like to take you here.
So you can be it.
I
You
see
can be
women.
Well, I'm saying for her input.
You're
I'm
absolutely
letting her
right.
right in.
You're absolutely right.
Because some women are different. They're different from just like men are different. Women are different from woman to woman. What you may say to one woman like okay, another woman is like, well, we want you to take it behind. We want you to make all the decisions. So I'm just
I want you to make the decision.
not from a woman's point of view.
Like, right?
This is from a man's point of view. Come up with an idea that's cool. You think it's cool? Just run it back. So you don't want to get into a position where you don't want to take it. You want to take it.
I want to hear you. Be honest, okay? Is it okay if we go to the park? What about this? What about that? Just get some suggestions from different women and make sure. And then you ask the young lady you want to check out. And then go from there.
You might actually want to ask her if you want to go somewhere. Where would you like to go?
She's gonna say, I don't know. I'm telling you.
I'm saying
My
once
kids
she
are,
says,
I don't
once
know.
she
That
says, I don't
generation.
know. Now that opens the door for you to make a decision.
At least have something in your mind that where you would really want to take. Okay. All
Bring
right.
down some ice cream cake.
Yeah, ice cream and cake.
Yeah, ice cream and cake.
You know, good. Jimmy. Oh,
Yeah, my big friend, my all right, the first place I took her out to Fifth Avenue. I
I'm like an old school dude.
what the hell is that? There's a restaurant on Fifth Avenue.
it's a little sandwiches day. That's going to get her. The basket, the blanket. Yeah, hopefully you kind of learn to grab like I do. But if you get your basket, you get your blanket, you sit out like, listen, hey, I have a little picnic plan for us. Let's go. That would be so nice. It's cute too. At 18 years old, so budget friendly. Okay, you gave her scenic route. You gave her some scenery.
First of all,
You
first
gave her
things
some
first.
food.
First things first. Before you take it out, my suggestion is find out if she had a father figure in her life, and that will determine the approach you take. Because if she didn't have a father figure in the house, she gonna be a problem, bro.
Hold on,
Some girls are
hold
still
on.
problems even with father figures.
I agree with that because I didn't have a father figure. My father passed. My mother and my dad. My mom, and my dad passed when I was very young. So I didn't have. I just was raised with my grandmother.
And
That's
ain't nobody
it.
gonna tell
And
her what
I'm
to
not
do.
a problem. Listen.
Hold up.
Oh, no.
You said grandma.
My grandma.
You said grandma.
My grandma was in the
That's
house.
different. Grandma.
That's a whole different
My
world.
grandma.
Grandma would have been through
some.
some things. You know what I'm saying? Grandma would have been through. I'm
Yeah.
talking about that. Mommy knows best. Just mommy in the house by herself. Mommy that was the man and the woman in the house.
Uh-huh.
She may be strong.
Yeah.
She may be a little opinionated.
Yeah.
She
A
might
little?
she might have that mantra. If you can tell me what to do, then you can tell me what to do. But if
My mother
you
was
can't tell me
4'11".
what to do, then you can't tell me what to
My mother was 4'11", and even growing up, even when I became a grown man, one of the things that she told me, you'll never get too big for me to whip your ass.
do. Listen, I just spoke to my grandmother
I'm not
on my
messing
way
with
here. She's 90 years old, and she's like, "Listen, you didn't call me today. What's going on?" And she's very spicy. She has all faculties, and but she doesn't play any games about men or women or relationships alike. But listen, I think that what Terry's saying is correct as well. But you're just trying to get to know her during that picnic lunch. You're going to get to know whether or not she has a father figure in a home. You're going to get to know her likes and dislikes. You're going to get to know all of that. And you'll be able to see her mannerisms, because let me tell you something right now. If she's coming out and she's not saying thank you and she's not saying please, she's a little rude, she's a little rough around the edges, you know what you're into with that. You're getting into. So listen, just pay attention. That's all.
And plus, grandma always, grandma always had a boyfriend, right?
Yes, grandma always did.
Yeah, she always, hey, look, Mr. Leroy.
Listen,
You know, Mr. Leroy.
Today is Mr. Phillip. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
So if anybody's interested, I just want to lay this out there. See this young lady over here? I guess it's to my left. I don't know what you guys can see. Her name is Shaquana Terry.
Hi.
Okay, and we here at the Genesis Radio, we think that she really would be good with her own show pertaining to relationships, finances.
I'd like to join.
You like to join?
Yes.
Really?
Look at that. We already got it going on.
Well,
So
thank
we're
you
gonna
for
have to
that.
find a nice time slot, and you got to slide her into that time slot. Personally, I think she's gonna do an excellent job.
Thank you.
Right on?
Thank you.
Right on. So this is Kendall Stevenson, GenesisRadio.com, Shaquana Terry, and this is the Empowerment Show. Just to let you guys know, August 17th, Unity in the Community. We got to be there. Holding hands, bringing ourselves together, saying prayers,
Yes.
eating some good food, looking at the cars as we drive around in some nice old-fashioned cars.
Yes.
Brother's going to be there with the drone and the other camera. We're going to have live entertainment, painting your faces for the kids. There's a lot going on August 17th. Danbury Park, East Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania.
Yes.
Please show up noon. And if anybody wants to vend, any vendors like to show up, please get in contact with us. Terry?
Hey, we're going to see him there.
We'll see you there.
We'll see you there.
Okay, so this is Kendall Stevenson, Shaquana Terry, Empowerment Show, and we are out.
And remember,
Peace.
be yourself, because everyone else is taken.
Peace.
Thank you for watching. Please like this video and subscribe to our